Alright, so it's been about 5 whole months. I know, it's been a lot of time since I last made my video where I went over the must wishlist characters. And it's, again, the best time right now as a lot of players are picking up the game and a lot of returning players are coming back and a lot of players just having fun. And maybe they want to know, who do I wishlist? Go. Who am I wishlisting? Today, I'm going to try my best to answer that question. Remember, as time has progressed now, there's a lot of slots in these entire things, right? If you were to look at the wishlist system nowadays, it's much different because if you're a returning player, let's say you started the game up until like the Dorothy anniversary, so 6 months into the game, and now you're returning one entire year later, there's a lot of characters added to this pool, right? And on top of that, because Shift Up hates us basically in a way, they want to make sure Tetra is a big stack category. Tetra just has so many options, right? It's not that Shift Up hates us, it's that Mustang loves us so much he just wants to keep blessing us with more Tetras, and it's very annoying. But in a lot of these categories there's so many top tier picks nowadays that it's like, who do you go for? So I'll try my best to list as many as possible to go for. If you already have one, replace them with somebody that I list beyond that. That's gonna be kind of how you do it. Remember, if you're a new player in this game, there's a lot of different information that you need to know. You need to be chasing a 160 wall break. That means you need to obtain 3 copies of a character. For example, Kilo is the new character helping you do that, so that's 1 slot done. You now need a few more. So again, make sure you are picking characters such as Privity, who's been given to you, right? Other characters who have been given to you for free, whoever you pulled recently, whoever you've already made 1-2 copies into, take those characters, wishlist them. 160 wall is a huge thing that you have to break, and you got to start planning ahead. Again, all you got to do is just dupe out characters to MLB, which is obtaining 1 copy and then being like obtaining the character, and then 3 more copies on top of that. So basically you got to obtain 4 SSRs of whatever character that may be, whether it be Aid, ANNI, Alice, whoever it is in the game. That's all you have to do. Correct? That's it. Simple, easy, there you go. Now, on the front of who to wish list, today we're going to go through that. New to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Intro's out the way. Let's get into it with no more delays. First things first, we'll start with Elysion and work our way down. This is what my wish list looks like. Basically, it's been just me trying to obtain characters. Recently, my last multi, I obtained 2 of the characters I was looking for, which was Curie and I think Soline. So that's there, correct? Nowadays, we don't care. Let's just talk about who we should get. So again, remember, players who are new, 160 wall. Your character should look like this. That means that you have 1 character towards breaking the 160 wall. That is 3 dupes, considered MLB in this game. There you go. So let's go beyond that. Let's start at the bottom here. There's a lot of good characters. First things first, Elysion is a category that is the most hated in the game. I think Missilis is the second. Yeah. Elysion is the most hated. Elysion is most hated. So again, realize there's not many options compared to Tetra. You can see 4 pages or 4 rows of it. Go to Tetra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's too many. There's too many Tetra. But for Elysion, let's go and subtract everything out of our list. Let's start here. D Killer Wife is a must-have. D Killer Wife is nuts. D Killer Wife is insane. She is an outstanding CDR character. She's actually being used to cheese a lot of content. A lot of early stages in campaign can be using this character to cheese with it. She is in most tier lists considered SS in every content minus PvP. So if you're looking for a character in the Elysion category, this is a character to keep an eye out for, and a character that I would highly recommend you obtain. Nowadays, with this thing, I would like to have the character, but again, my luck sucks in this game, so I'm obviously not going to pull the character. But remember, Elysion is a huge category, and for Burst 1, she's the only like double S character in Elysion for Burst 1. So again, please keep this in mind. You want to obtain this character as soon as possible. So there is that. Beyond that, in the Elysion category, who else is pretty solid? It is Privity. Though again, she requires a lot of team-based stuff to make her work. She is a good character to pick up, and there are teams that you can kind of cheese through that do incorporate her as a character, and they can do a lot for her. Right, so again, I would say that you would kind of want to obtain her as you do progress in the game. She'll be a pretty good DPS character for boss content to help you cheese through some stuff here. But that's very team reliant. She's very team reliant. So again, it's not really a good idea for me to like recommend it to you just based off where we are in this game. Correct. Beyond that, Marciana. Marciana is a top tier B2 meta pick, correct, for healing and such. She's going to be a pretty good character if you are missing some other characters in the game. Again, being a free-to-play player, you might be able to obtain, I think, Pepper. I don't know if those events are still there anymore, but I think Pepper was like one of the first characters I obtained. And you could obtain her Pepper, right? And Pepper's a pretty good healer. For Burst 2, Marciana's going to be a pretty good pick to sort of slot in for some things, and she still kind of is a pretty solid character. But again, as time has progressed, right, some characters just aren't, keeping up. But I think Marciana kept up to a pretty good standard, and she's definitely a sleeper pick for a lot of players. But I would recommend that she is a good pick for you. Correct? That definitely is the case. Beyond that, right, if we were to go through this list again, like you were to look at it, D is good for some niche content. Helm is good. She's been falling off more and more, but she's still a very good character. So we'll return back to that. Curie, sadly, is an L pick. Maid, Investi, Soline, Brid. There are Cooper. Still thinking these two characters are busted, but they're more so niche picks. Correct? They're not like terrible. It's just they're niche picks. So I'm not gonna say like Soline's a must have, but Soline definitely isn't as bad as players are saying. But she is, again, compared to the picks you could have got, she's pretty mid. So beyond that, Privity's good, but remember, Privity's free. So most of you might not want to go for her, but if you want to MLB, go for Privity, obviously, right? If you're not MLB and you want to obtain, it's not Privity. Diesel is pretty good, but again, it's up to you. She's like kind of considered a B tier character, but that's what happens in this game is Pilgrims and Tetra. They run the game, and Missilis too now. We don't have our Elysion duo yet, so we're still waiting for that to kind of carry. So if you were to say like my honest opinions, it'll be probably this and this. Mast is a good supporter. For whatever she is, she does decent. If it's not Mast and you have no characters that get buffed by Mast, you can replace Mast for like, I don't even know, Diesel or Polly. All right, Polly's still pretty solid for what she is. I think in most, in JP tier list, she's considered A tier. I don't know about global tier list, but Helm is still considered pretty good. And remember, if you want to run Elysion Tower, Miranda is a pick. If you don't have this, you have to run Elysion Tower, right? That's your pick. Miranda is your pick. So remember, you're going to need Miranda for that. But it's like now that Decla Wife exists, she kind of negates what Miranda does just because of existing. Because again, it's a B1 20-second, right? If you were to look in the B1 category, it's just Emma, which is 40 seconds, so you can't use her. So now you're stuck with Miranda or Decla Wife. So let's say you can obtain Decla Wife and you want to push Elysion content or Elysion Tower, you're going to need Miranda. So Miranda is very useful in this list. So if I were to say it, I would say this is the perfect list. I would confirm and say this is the perfect list here, being again Decla Wife, Privity, Unkind Maid, Marciana, this and this. And let's say, you have all these characters. At that point, just pick from waifu. The only really good character beyond it's like Diesel, maybe Mast again, Polly. That's really it. Again, Guillotine also, I've seen her do some decent DPS, but as time has progressed, again, they've kind of fallen off. But this is a pretty good list. If you want to, this is a very good list. So again, if I were to recommend it, it's this with the addition if you want to swap in Guillotine, if you want to swap in Polly or Mast. That's my opinion. Maybe Diesel, correct? So there is that. That's Elysion done, out the way. Missilis, let's check this one out. This is a category also that's a little bit more loved than Elysion, right? It does have some good characters on here, and these characters are, again, a lot of supports on here, a lot of good supports on here. So this is why it's a very important category to keep an eye out for, and missing characters in this category suck. Let's be very quick here and very efficient. First things first, Nagatia. You need both these characters. Doesn't matter what Crown's doing, doesn't matter how good Crown is, I get it. You still want Naga and Tia. That doesn't change. That remains a fact. You need Naga and Tia. Both in the Missilis category, they are, or rather, both are excellent picks. So again, there is that. That does not negate the fact that someone still exists. The grandma big, I'm not gonna make any jokes here because my stream proved I can't joke around. Oh my god, that's used against me still. And if anybody comments, don't dare comment that at this timestamp. I know they're gonna do it now that I've said it. I've confirmed it. But Litter, still to this day, Litter, Leecher, everyone call her. I don't give a damn. We call her Litter out here. She is a character that is one to reckon with. Still till today, no one's power crept her. People make jokes. Go to bed, Granny. They made those jokes. No, Litter still remains to be a top tier pick, and that stays true till today. Very cool stuff, and again, a very wonderful character. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. She's still God tier, bro. She's still God tier. As this time has gone on, she's still God tier. So very cool stuff there. But those are like the top 3 picks in my opinion, right? Moving on beyond that, right? Beyond that kind of roster where you're at, there's a lot of other characters also. For example, you could go. So nowadays it's still considered that Maxwell and Senti are amazing characters. So like this is a pretty good roster, right? As again time has progressed, there's a few options you can slot in. They're not like insane characters, but they do decent, right? So again, these two are again good options. Let's say you already have this. So I would say this is top 5. This is top 5 picks. Okay. Now we go outside of top 5 picks. Here's what we can add in for fun. Correct. So minus the top 5. Now again, these are extras if you already have top 5. You could go theoretically Drake. Drake is still a pretty solid character, correct? Pepper is an excellent healer, so those are 2 awesome picks also. Beyond that, beyond just these 2, correct? Whatever it is, Eleg does do pretty good. Laplace does do pretty good. Those are also characters that exist, that are DPSs, that are, she's burst 2, pretty solid for what it is. Laplace is still a pretty solid character, but again, if I were to say it, it's Senti Maxwell, very good, still used. I think they're god tier picks for Solar Raid and such. Again, Pepper, a god tier's healer pick, free to play healer pick, wonderful healer pick, right? That's there. Drake is a character that I love using for, I think, what's his name? It's not Gravedigger, is it? It's Gravedigger, right? No. Oh my god. It's the one in the tunnel. That's Gravedigger, right? I don't know why I'm forgetting that. We'll just go with it. I think I'm right here. I don't know. I don't know why I'm like blanking to the name there, but that's there, right? So again, those 5 are my picks, right? Beyond that, again, Pepper, E-Leg, Drake Lapras, Tuve. People call her that. On stream, I cannot believe they called her that. Tuve does exist also, but that's like one of the last ones in comparison to what I listed for you, right? Beyond that, Jackal's a top tier PvP pick, like meta defining, destroying the game. So if you want to play PvP normally and you want to like excel in PvP, if you're a new player, like remove Maxwell or Senti, it depends on who you want to remove, right? Put her in. She's 10 out of 10, best character in the game. Literally till today, she's triple S PvP. God tier, will destroy everything, will ruin everyone around you. If you have her, I still don't have her, by the way, right? Maybe PvP will be enjoyable when I get her. Maybe that's the case. But PvP, you want to destroy, you need Jackal. You need Jackal. It's not anything. You need a Jackal. Get Jackal, and she will destroy. She will decimate for you. That's how good Jackal is. So again, if you want to run PvP normally and properly and actually decimate, you got to get Jackal, and Jackal will help you. So again, between that, Senti, Maxwell, I will say Jackal's third for PvP only, optional spot, flex spot. Then again, beyond that, Pepper, E-Leg, Drake, Lapras, around there, right? So again, that's that spot. And last but not least, Tetra. Okay, we've been here for a bit of time. It's been an 11-minute video. We gotta move fast here. So, first things first. With the Tetra category, there's a lot of characters, a lot of new characters. Let's be very honest here. Bay is not a top tier pick, sadly. Aid is not a top tier pick, depressingly. Moran is not bad, just PvP again, so that's the issue. Leona helps Privity Unkind Mates. If you want to run Privity Unkind Mate, you're going to need Leona for that. It depends on if you have those characters, then they'll team up. Nero, sadly, isn't really good. She's a defender, though, but she's not really, like, good. So, again, another kind of sad release there. If you were to look at it, whatever we've been getting with Tetra, it's just been depressing. This category doesn't get any love in the aspect of good characters. You're getting, you know, this, but it's just sad that category, or this category kind of has that, but, you know, that's how it is. Beyond that, though, we were to remove this. Folk Wong, nah, we'll just start with like the top picks and work our way down. First things first, you want to obtain Blanc. You need to obtain Blanc. You gotta obtain Blanc. You gotta obtain Noir. Blanc and Noir are still a top tier duo pick. They're the best characters in the game, considered by a lot of people, that and Tia Naga. So again, you kind of want those characters. So automatically, 2 characters, we can slot them in, and look, no way away. This is perfect. This is already perfection. Beyond that, who can we include for, again, the Tetra category? Again, a lot of characters. There's situational characters like Alice. Alice requires some building. You want to start early? Get Alice, right? Top tier DPS still till today. Sure, some characters maybe have done a little bit better, but Alice is still top tier. No one's power crept her. She's still good. She's still great. Solar Radiant requires 5 teams, so you need 5 Alices. Do you have 5 Alices? No, you don't. So what it is, Alice is still great. You want to get an early head start on that? Start building Alice. Beyond that, you have a character like, where is she? Noise. Noise is a wonderful, first off, healer, per se. She's also a wonderful tank character. She's a cheese character. For burst 1, she's very good. Volume, whatever it is also a character who didn't start off too hot, but as time has progressed, players love using her as a buffer character. So she is like a big sleeper pick also in a way, but she's still wonderful as is, correct? So again, if you want a B1 buffer that you don't have like Illiter or so, that's going to be a character you're going to need to implement. Beyond that, you want to implement a character like Dala. Dala's wonderful. B2 character, great support, wonderful CDR, everything. She kind of brings a lot to the table. She is also a freaking top tier pick. Beyond that, let's say that these 2 characters you don't kind of like. So again, I give you a few characters for these spots. Noise, Volume, Litter. Yeah, Ruby is still a great character. Though again, as time has progressed, a lot of players are kind of using her less and less, right? It's happened, sadly. She used to be like a double S character, then S character, now an A character. As time has progressed, they've kind of put her down on tier lists. JP recently updated their tier list and also brought down Ruby, which is sad, but there are characters that are kind of taking her spot. But she's still a wonderful character, right? So I'd still say that, you know, for early game, she's still a wonderful pick, and it might be a really good character for you to use. So don't just sleep on that also. Correct, that's just my 10 cents, yeah? But beyond that, we also have a character like, anyone I'm missing? There is Sugar, right? I kind of save Sugar because, again, boss content. I use her for also that tunnel monster, which requires shotgun characters because of Noir, right? Beyond that, these characters down here, I don't know. They're not really too hot for what they provide. So, again, it's Noise. So here we go. Let's just start from the top here. Noise, Volume, Dala, Rupee is a good flex pick. Biscuit's a good flex pick. Again, more niche per se, but she is still very good. And I still think she's triple S for PvP because a lot of teams are also formulated off of her invulnerability or invincibility, right? So that's a big thing too. So keep that in mind. Novel, I think still, though she's fallen off a lot recently, we've seen her drop in tier list a lot. She's still a very good pick also. So again, if you want to go through the order as mentioned, I've just listed it. She'll be like one of the bottom picks, but she's still pretty good. Yeah, and you can definitely put her up there higher. She's more boss content oriented, but as time has progressed, there's better characters. Sakura's good. She's a train cheat code, literally. So that's also a decent pick. Again, as mentioned, Sugar, and again, as mentioned, Leona. Because again, if you want to go and team that up with Privity, then she's a definitely top tier pick. But if not with Privity, it's a little more kind of stiff, right? Not flexible in any way. So that's my Tetra category, correct? So again, these 3 god tier picks. It could be these 2. It could be these 2. Here, it could be, if you don't want these 3 as mentioned, it could be these 2. If you don't want those as mentioned, you go for Leona, and you go for not Moran. Moran's PvP. If you want to do PvP, that's there. Sakura, cheat code, or Novel, a pretty good character. So that's the Tetra category. That's the best I could do here. Hopefully, I didn't miss anything. I could have missed one character here and there, but I think that I've gotten it perfectly. If you want to know what my wish list is, it doesn't matter, correct? Because I'm endgame now. I don't want these characters per se. I just want characters I don't own so I can use them later on in boss content, because dupes don't really matter. So, for example, if this was my list, it would just be these 5 characters, right? If this was my list over here, it would just be, well, technically this, right? I like her MLB screen. That's why I kept her, I think. So I would just keep that. And then over here for Elysion, I would have this. I would remove this for Helm, because I like to use Helm, kind of. And I'll remove Miranda from Marciana for the burst screen, because I'm a man of class. There we go. So yeah, that's mine, right? Because again, end game, I just care about obtaining the character for solar raid and such. So with that being said, I'll wrap up the video there. Thanks for watching. Take care. 17 minutes of me trying to describe each character to my best of my ability. This is for new players. So again, a lot of my whale viewers and such, or just long-term game playing subs, right, might be a little bit more of a useless video for you. So I apologize, but for new players, this video is mainly for you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I described things properly. That's been it. Take care. Have fun. Peace out. And yeah.